Willkommen, welcome, ni hao, hello, hello. Good to see a couple of regulars. Welcome, everybody. Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Ooh, one or two new faces. That's great to see. We love seeing that. Oh, hello. Oh, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Fill in from the front if you don't mind. Thanks. If you guys do sit in front, you might be eligible for some drinks. Ooh, some good drinks.
The splash zone. Front row seats are filling up fast.
Yeah, the splash zone. All right, who wants a shot of Amarula? Anyone? Anybody know what Amarula is? Aha. I think, Wendy, you know what Amarula is, right?
I do, but being in America, I'd never had it before, until I met Martin, and he was telling me about the Amarula fruit, and it's a very nice liqueur, very nice.
It is. It's elephants.
It's like Bailey's. It's a little bit like Bailey's and Kahlua for Americans.
Absolutely. Well, exactly. Bailey.
But better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. It is better. We like to think so. South Africa is the best. There we go. We'll leave it at that. Let's get
Okay.
to the hot, contentious fight. Sorry, it's an Australian South African thing. But yeah, we're a global community, and we welcome all of you to the 30th rendition and episode of the Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout. Woo! That's pretty amazing, I think. Yeah, we've been doing this a little while. Fantastic. Well, welcome to it, everybody. It's lovely to have you all here, the Hodlnots studio. And in this session today, we're going native. We're going to be talking about native tokens specifically. Look at all those hearts coming in. Thanks, guys. And yeah, have a look around. Have a look at this amazing backdrop, this background that we've got here today. Can you guys identify what these native things are? How do they relate? Let's see if anybody's got them, except for Amarula, which we were speaking about. Let's see if anybody can recognize things that are native. Well, I mean, we should be more inclusive, I guess, Vix, around our Frenchies and our Germans and our occasional Dutch. We get some Singaporeans, Malaysians, but I mean, then we'd have this really crazy background, I guess.
Yes, it was more for the panelists, I suppose, countries.
I see that jar of black tar above your head.
Over my head.
I would call it black tar. It's very similar to black tar. Amen to that.
I believe so. It's apparently native to Australia. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does anybody in the audience know what that is above Vicky's head?
The chat is open.
Yeah, Jen has it. Jen's Australian, so hopefully. Good job, Jen. Oh, Jeffrey, close, but not quite.
Oh, it's similar. Some people
similar.
like that better, Jeffrey, believe it or not. But it's very, similar. It's like a copycat.
Let's see. Yeah, like all of those, I'm not a fan of. Marcel might hate on me, but not a fan of Marmite or Bovril, actually.
Hey, if you grew up,
Yummy is not my word, but
yeah,
Aussies love it. Aussies brought up on it, so and it is healthy.
Marcel, did you say you brought up on it?
I said if you grew up poor, you sort of were forced to like it. It's what you had, huh? I actually use some of it in cooking because it's yeasty and beefy and stuff. So
quite umami.
Depending on which one you use.
I will say Marius likes it. Marius likes.
Sure. Donasian's asking if it's something you drink with alcohol. Well, in my case, I did a lot of alcohol before I had that.
You might need alcohol before you can have it.
Yeah, it's So Vegemite is the answer. I see the South African in Down Under knows what it is, but yeah, Vegemite. It's like here. Yeah, I think Marmite is a global brand. In South Africa, we have something called Bovril, Bovril, and that's also like a yeasty, meaty extract. People put it on and stuff. But anyway, why we're still talking about Vegemite, there's a whole bunch of other native things going on around here. In terms of what's next to Wendy there on the shelf next to Barney, anybody know what that native little creature is?
I would say a reindeer, but he's not a reindeer. Those antlers are a little bit different.
Ooh. Yeah, let's see any non-South Africans can get this. It's not a reindeer, definitely not a reindeer. Anyone?
It's not a springbok. Is it a springbok?
There you go.
Well done, Wendy. Well done. You should know that quite well with Marius, actually.
I should.
So springbok is it is the national animal of South Africa. It's on our coat of arms and a number of things as well. It's native to South Africa. Is the springbok. It's a small antelope. And then we've got just below that, we've got one that's very native. I don't think they're indigenous anywhere else in the world, and they can stay there. Apparently, they are everywhere in Australia, aren't they, Vix? Wendy?
They're in a lot of places in Australia, absolutely. And it also is on our coat of arms as well, along with an emu. So, yeah.
That is an interesting one. And then, of course, we got, what type of eagle is that, Wendy?
Bald eagle. That's the USA.
Yeah, the American bald eagle. Totally doesn't look very bald, but yeah. Anyway, well, it is native there. So, well, welcome to it. There are a few other little native things going on around here, but as we've mentioned, that we're going to be chatting all about native tokens specifically, or specific to the various exchanges. We're going to be chatting about the 4 that we use. So you might see dotted in and around the landscape. That is the background. You'll see a whole bunch of these tokens lying around, and that's what we're going to be chatting about in the session today, and some of the benefits of holding them, which Marcel and Vicky will be delving more into. But we are going to run a live contest as well here on the show today, just for you guys attending the call. We always are appreciative of that and love your input and your participation. So the more you participate, the greater your chances. But before we do all that, Marcel, over to the sports desk. The 10 percentages for the last little while. We'll chat about that before we chat more about the contest.
Let's have a look. So, week ending the 9th of June, that was quite a hot week in the market. We had some nice percentages running there. Let's just quickly have a look. The coins were SLP, Cream, FIDA, VIB, Audio, Beer, which is great, Burger, which is also great, Cream, also great. So, we had some great percentages in the den over that time. I just want to note here that you'll see there at the bottom we have three others here that doesn't say grab, which means this didn't happen in the den. It happened in our course. Every time we've got a scalping and foundational course running, we've got a chat with all the newbie students. And these were actually percentages scalped by them in our target chase, our little mini target chase that we have with them at the end of their course. So these 3 that says Newbies Rock, those were scalped by brand new cubs. So that was quite cool. Then the next week, which ended now, last Sunday, the market was a little bit more sideways, wasn't as fire as the previous weeks. I'm sure everyone can see it in Bitcoin's chart. But like we always say, when the market's sideways, we can still make money with scalping. So 3% on AMP. AMP ran a couple of times. So AMP had some good profits. CTK also is a nice runner, nice percentage runner. NOT, RPL, CVX as well. CVX and CTK today is also trying to wake up, so that's quite cool. And then there was a small one on front, but all in all, still making profits, even if the market is a little bit iffy. So that's it from the den.
Fantastic. There's great potential. I know that a number of people are waiting for certain TPs to hit for their DTM signals or MTT or long-term trades. And no disrespect to them at all. It's just there are just some really great coins running on the 1 minutes, and our members within our community are in and out. I know that we've had a couple of calls. I think, Wendy, you were on a call yesterday, and you guys are trading Erigo and SYN and grabbing a few, even in the down market, people were grabbing percentages, eh?
Absolutely. They were running pretty nicely. They didn't run for a long time, but we just need a little bit here and there. It was good.
Absolutely. Oh man, I'm just looking at the higher time frames, and some of these coins are not looking great. But then look at the 1 minute, and it's like, oh, these things are running. It's great.
Absolutely.
It is great to see. And again, congrats to all of our recent graduates as well for that. Did you guys know that it's exactly 1 month to the day that our next course opens up, our July course?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll talk about that in 2 weeks' time again, more on the course. But these Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout sessions were designed to try and educate and inform and even enlighten a bunch of our Hodlnots who are on the call and everybody else who's within the Bitcoin Trade and Forecast community and that ecosystem. So we thought we'd bring a little bit of an educational element today. There might be one or two things you didn't know about native tokens. So Vex, I think we'll hand it over to you for now to kick things off.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just share my screen. What I've done is just a little graphic to start out with. So you should be able to see that now.
Yep.
And what we're talking about today is exchange native tokens. So there are two kinds of native tokens. There are the native tokens that are native to a blockchain. So for instance, Solana or Ethereum or Bitcoin. So those are all native to their own blockchains. But we're actually talking about exchange native tokens. And what I've done here is these are the four main exchanges that we use in Hodlnots. So Binance, Mexi, Bitmart, KuCoin, there are obviously thousands more. This is just an overview. Marcel and John will delve a little bit farther into their uses, but I want to talk about, for everyone that knows or might not know, why it's important to know what the native exchange token is and what you can do with them and why it might be beneficial. So hopefully we all know that BNB is Binance's native token. And this is one of the early ones. So it was July 2017 when this launched, when Binance launched its own token. Now, right here is the utility. So why do we care? Why do we care that all of these exchanges have their own tokens? Most of us know that if you do have some native token in your trading account, so if you're using Binance and you do have BNB in your account and you toggle on that little button, Binance does give you a reduced trading fee. So Binance specifically gives you 25% off. But there are other reasons to hold the native tokens. For instance, you can trade with them. So Binance has pairs. So instead of trading Solana with USDT, you can trade Solana with BNB. So that's another way to trade. But they also give you, in Binance specifically, if you hold a certain amount of BNB, you do get access to certain things. So on Binance, it's things like token sales that you might not necessarily be able to access. So these are tokens that are about to launch on Binance and you get early access, or you might get airdrops. Now the Binance BNB coin does also lots of other things. It's probably the most comprehensive of all of the exchanges. So they do have their own payment processing. You can invest with it. You can obviously stake it and generate more BNB. They also, you can apply for loans and you can also loan out your tokens. So Binance has a whole bunch of different things that you can use your BNB with. Obviously, mostly we care about it because of the fee. 25% off fees is huge. So that's what Binance does. But the rest of them also have native tokens. So Mexi has its own token called MX. And that was launched a little later, June 2018, but they're still fairly old. I mean, we're in 2024 now. So again, with Mexi, you get 20% off if you hold MX, and you have to toggle on that little button saying that you want to pay for your fees with MX. But also, interestingly, Marcel found this, if you hold 1,000 MX, you don't have any trading fees. So if you're lucky enough to hold 1,000 MX coins, you can trade without any fees. But then as well, they do have a lot of different things you can use. So if you do hold a certain amount of MX tokens, again, you get access to their coins that they're about to launch on their exchange. And you also have something called governance, which is you sometimes get to choose what the exchange does with itself. If you hold so many coins, you get voting rights. And you also get to vote on which coins get launched on when. So you can get a lot more involved on Mexi. You get subscription discounts and free airdrops, and they also have staking. So Mexi is actually quite into their own token in its use. Bitmart is our newest one. That's the BMX coin, launched a little bit later, or about the same time as Mexi. And again, if you hold BMX and you toggle the little button on, you get 25% off. Now I'm talking spot trading here. Most of these exchanges, if you are going to go off into leverage trading, they do give you a different discount, but I'll be talking about spot trading. And again, with Bitmart, you get access to vote on certain coin campaigns. You get access to new tokens. You can stake your coins. So again, a lot more than just fees. And then finally, Qcoin. Qcoin is an interesting one. So again, they give you 20% off if you hold KCS in your account and toggle on that little button that tells Qcoin to use KCS for your fees. Qcoin also does something called a KCS bonus, which means if you're holding more than a certain amount of KCS coins, they'll give you more KCS coins just for holding. You don't even have to stake them. It just happens, they just pop into your account, you can claim them. So that's actually a great thing to do. And it's just for holding. You don't even have to do anything with it. They know that you're holding a certain amount. And then with Qcoin, they've actually formed a alliance with something called Travala, which is a travel website. And you can use KCS to book travel on that site. So that's just something that they're going off into. So this is just an overview of the 4 exchanges that we use. There's a lot more, and most exchanges have their own native token. But Marcel and John will be talking a little bit more about all of these things, but this is just a little graphic to say it's not just fees, it's lots of other different things. So if you do have some time, like now when the market is not running, it perhaps is what we want it to run, just have a little play around, go into the exchange, click some of those earns and staking and loans and just see what it's all about and the new launches and the new coins and see what you can do with your native tokens, because most of us hold them anyway for fees. So it's possible that if you hold just a few more, you can do other things and generate a bit more income for yourself, or have some fun with them. So I just wanted to show that before we got into more from Marcel and John. So I hope that helped a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I think we'll share this in our Hodlnots Lodge just so that members can use that as a reference, and that's a good reminder of all those things. But in the meantime, Marcel, let's delve a little bit more into the native token side of things and fees.
Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, I quickly want to look at the 4 exchanges that we're looking at: MEXC, Binance, Bitmart, and KuCoin. And I want to look at the fee structure specifically when you hold the native tokens. So looking at MEXC, it's actually quite nice when you're in spot trading. You'll see this section over here that will tell you immediately what your maker and taker fee will be on this pairing. So on certain pairings, there's 0 fees, certain pairings, there's other fees. So for instance, if you go and have a look on, I don't want to click away from this because my network is fairly slow. But if you click away from this into Bitcoin, for instance, you'll see that your maker and your taker fee goes to 0. So for those of you that are wondering what the difference is between maker and taker fee, basically, if you're doing market buy and market selling, you always a taker. So there it changes now. Okay, but I'll talk through it in any case. So if you're doing market buying and market selling, you are a taker. So you're basically saying, I want to buy $100 worth of this coin, and your order is being filled with whatever is available on the order book. So you're taking liquidity from the market. Whereas if you do a limit buy or limit sell, you can either be a maker or you can either be a taker. Now, the difference between the two is if you basically click on an order on the order book and then hit a limit buy and just buy in, you are considered the taker because you took the liquidity on that certain level. You took it from the order book. If, however, you place a limit buy or limit sell at a value that's currently not on the order books, for instance, if you want to buy, let's say, at a certain coin at $5, and there's no sellers selling it at $5, then you'll be considered a maker because you'll make liquidity. You'll place an order on the order book that's sitting there until someone fills it. You might be filled right away because if you're trading a coin with loads of activity on it, you'll be filled right away, but you'll still be considered a maker. But if you click on any of these sell orders and then buy into them, you'll be considered a taker. So if you look at, we're now on Bitcoin, that's now loaded. So you'll see on MEXC, Bitcoin is 0.0. It's got nothing to do with holding a native token. It's just something that I wanted to show you. So you can actually see on MEXC while in the spot trading screen what your fees will be on the specific token that you're on. So just make sure that you look at these fees. So generally, if you're a maker on MEXC currently, because they do tend to chop and change it a bit. So currently, if you're a maker, you will pay 0 fees. If you're a taker, it is 0.1% for your buy and 0.1% for your sell. But there is a way, like Vicky explained, that you can reduce those fees slightly. So on MEXC, you can reduce it by 20%. So how do you do that? You basically just hover over this section here, and it will bring up this pop-up, and it will give you your fees. Remember, this is now 0.0 because we're on Bitcoin. I just don't want to navigate off this now, and then we wait again for it to load. But if you click on this section here, it says Learn About Trading for Your Discount Program. It will take you to the screen, which will hopefully load, where you can toggle. There's a little toggle that says enable or disable reduce trading fees when holding MX token. Then you can enable it, and that will give you that 20% reduction in your fees. Again, apologies for everything loading so slow, but you should be able to see the screen now. So currently you'll see mine says MX deduction has been enabled for 20% discount. And yours might not say this. So here you can see it was 0.1%. Remember, 0.1 to buy and 0.1 to sell if you are a taker. So if you want to enable yours, if yours is still 0.1 here, you can click in this section. Remember, we're talking about spot now. We're not talking about the futures here on the right-hand side. So specifically on spot, click on this blue section here, and then it will pop up this screen. And yours will have a button here that says enable if yours are not currently already enabled. So if you click there, it will enable the 20% discount on your trading fees, but you need to hold the MX token because the actual funds, the fees, will be deducted from your MX balance. If you don't have MX and this is enabled, it's okay, but then the fees will be deducted off your USDT and whatever pairing you are buying and selling. Then Vicky mentioned quickly that if you do hold more than 1,000 MX tokens, there's a condition over here over the recent 15 days. So you need to basically hold it, and it will take an effect after 15 days. Then you'll have 100% fee discount. That means you'll have a 0% maker fee and a 0% taker fee. So just make sure that if you don't hold 1,000, what you can do is you can enable this and then just hold like $10 or $20 worth, and it will take your fees from that, and then just make sure that you top up your MX tokens in order to pay for those fees. So that is MEXC. I'm just going to close MEXC. Then let's look at the next one. The next one should be KuCoin, but KuCoin is also not loading. So let me see if Binance is available. Okay, let's do Binance first. So very similar to MEXC. If you hold the native token in Binance, which is BNB, you also get a reduced fee. In Binance, it's 25% off your fee. So the way in which you check whether you enabled it is if you're in the trading screen, right at the bottom here where you populate your orders, you'll see there's a little section that says fee level. You can click on that, and it will also pop up a little screen that says using BNB for fees, and then you just need to toggle it on there. If you toggle it off, your fees will be taken from the trading pair that you're trading. If it's on and you do own BNB, then your fees will be deducted from your BNB balance. And here you can see mine was 0.1%, and with the less 25%, now pay 0.075. But on Binance, it's the same for taker or maker. So whether you market buy, market sell, limit buy, limit sell, whether you add liquidity to the market or whether you take liquidity from the market, it will be the same fees. Okay, so Binance is fairly straightforward. So let's close that one, see which one of these two. Okay, so let's talk about Bitnord. Bitnord is a little bit more complicated because it's got different tiers of tokens. Let's have a look. So similar to the other two, if you're in the spot trading section, close to where you populate your order book, you'll see there's a section that says fee rate. So very similar. And it will show you your maker fee and your taker fee. So it says here for class A pair. The reason why it says that is because I'm currently on Bitcoin. So there's a class A, class B, and class C tokens. So all of them are different, and all of them has different fees. So we'll have a look at that now. I just want to show you here that is where you toggle your fees on and off, your deduction. Okay, so let's look here, just on the detail on the level, the trading fees, see if we can find those specific coins. So here you can see class A, you've got a maker fee of 0.09%, which is the normal fee, and a taker fee of 0.1%. On class B, you've got a maker fee of 0.2%, which is a lot higher, and a taker fee of 0.25%. And then on class C tokens, you'll have a 0.35% maker fee, maker fee, and a 0.4% taker fee. So you do get a 25% discount on all of them when you hold the BMX token. And if you want to have a look at what tokens are classified as class A, class B, and class C, you can just click on these tabs and you will be able to find the token that you're trading, and it will tell you what it is. But if you are currently on the token on your exchange, on your trading screen, and you hit that fee rate, it will tell you over here, it will tell you what class pairing it is. But obviously, us that's scalping, we don't really worry about class A, class B, class C, because we scalp. But just be aware that your fees will be higher depending on what class coin you are trading. But you do get the 25% discount in the fees when you hold BMX token on class A, B, and C. So that is Bitnord. Let's see if KuCoin is woken up. The KuCoin is also a 20% discount if you hold KCS, which is their native token. It's really similar to the other ones in any case, where you just go close to there where you populate your order, and there will be a little link that you can click, and with a toggle to toggle the reduction on and off. I'm not sure why this is not loading.
Marcel, what I can do is I can screen share my side, and then you can just walk us through.
If you can, that will be great. Okay, so basically, similar to the other ones. You'll see there right at the bottom, close to the mouse pointer, it says fee discounts. And if you just click there, it will show you the fees and with the toggle to toggle the discount on and off. Remember, when you toggle all of these exchanges, when you toggle it on, you still need to hold the token in your wallet, because otherwise, even with the toggle that's enabled, you won't have the reduction or deduction of fees unless you hold that native token. So most of the exchanges, you find them in a similar way, but some of them has different structures to the fees. And that's basically the native tokens and their benefit with regards to the fees and the discount of the fees that you can get. It's only MEXC and Bitmart that has different rates for maker and taker fees. So those two exchanges, you need to look out for that. But on KuCoin and Binance, your maker and taker fees generally are the same.
Perfect.
That's it.
Great. Thanks, Marcel. Thanks very much for that. Continuing on that conversation around KuCoin and some of the other benefits. Now, in terms of holding a certain number of tokens, Marcel was talking about MEXC earlier, where you can get 100% free or 100% discount on the trading fees on MEXC, but then you're needing to hold more than 1,000. We're going to quickly just have a look at some of the other benefits of holding some of those native tokens. So we're going to start off with KuCoin, seeing as we ended off there with Marcel and KuCoin. And if you go and explore, hopefully you guys have spent a bit of time looking around the place. And for each of the exchanges, again, depending which one you have access to globally, we know that some countries don't allow KuCoin or don't allow Binance, etc. Have a good look around. We've talked about it briefly before, but this is under gem vote, and this is interesting. So you have the opportunity to vote for certain projects to be listed, excuse me. But what you need to be able to do is you need to hold at least 5 KCS in this circumstance to be able to earn votes. So I don't hold any KCS, but you have a look at this. It's going to ask you then to go and buy. So I'm not going to go and buy KCS, but you can look up more about what it is. So there are benefits to holding these native tokens. Not only is it the discount on trading fees, the maker and taker fees, but there are other benefits as well, where you can get to vote for beer or you get to vote for whatever else. That's one example. Then let's have a quick look at MEXC. So MEXC, pretty interesting. Again, there's more under spot. So go have a look here. So there's the MX zone, and there's a launchpad as an example, and Kickstarter. So this is for MEXC, the native token being MX. If you hold that, let's go we can go explore that quickly. So if you're holding MX, there are a couple of these Kickstarters. Now, this is kind of like a fundraising element for certain crypto projects. And this is pretty interesting. So at the moment, there are a couple of, and we know meme coins are the current flavor of the year. So Cat Own Kimono, we've known Dog Whiff Hat. There are a whole bunch of others as well. So for instance, you wanted to get involved in this. And what happens is with these Kickstarters, depending on how many MX you have, you can actually go and have a look at committing some of your MX. It's almost like a pool. Okay, I don't really want to log in here. But what happens is by owning a certain number, you can actually get involved. And then what happens is because you own or hold a certain number of MX, when these projects once they finish with the Kickstarter phase, you actually get airdropped a whole bunch of these tokens for whatever project that you were holding for. So if you got involved in GG or Gege or whatever you like, or Gi or whatever, you'd get a whole bunch airdropped according to how many MX tokens you were holding, or AQLA. So there are a whole bunch of really great benefits, and that's under the Kickstarter side. If you go have a look under, this is the this is just the general MX zone. So it says there privileges and rewards for MX token holders. And this explains a little bit more about the Kickstarter side, and I'm going to look at the launchpad shortly as well. There are other privileges. Again, hold that 1,000, like Marcel was saying, and there are a couple of other things as well. So nice details, more understanding around holding that. So that's a good thing. And then in terms of that launchpad, very similar as well to the Kickstarter, but the only thing is you need to buy at least 1,000 MX tokens, hold it for 30 days, and then you can get more involved with these projects or tokens that get launched on MX or MEXC. So it's different from the Kickstarter side where you can just hold a certain number or however many, whereas here you have to have at least 1,000 to be able to, and hold it for 30 days and then participate. So if you're one of those whales, lots of cash to spare, and you like to buy a whole bunch of MX tokens on MEXC, then you can get involved with the Launchpad side. So that's pretty exciting. Then let's have a quick look at Bitmart before I get to Binance at least. And this is now, you can go look under the more section of things. So this is now Bitmart with their token BMX. So they've got the Launchpad. They've also got vote listing as well. So this is the Launchpad, the one that I'm currently on here. And these have all just been completed. There aren't any ones that are currently or about to launch. But if you go and delve more into them, what happens is it opens up, and this is exactly kind of similar when BTAF token was launched as well. This was a listing announcement. For this listing activity, they had a discount on this. But how to participate in that, there's obviously certain qualifying times periods and so forth. But in terms of these tickets that you get in terms of the voting for the Launchpad and stuff, again, you'd need to hold a certain number of BMX. So anything less than 100, you get basically one extra vote, more and more and more. The other thing that I wanted to show you as well was on here, was that vote listing. So this is, again, it's kind of like the Kickstarter that MEXC has, and you can get involved with these, but again, you'd have to, again, there are criteria. You'd have to hold a certain number as well. And sometimes the NFT, sometimes it is the BMX as well. So if you guys are holding a large number of these native tokens, these are things that you can get involved with as well. And then looking at Binance. Now, a lot of you are perhaps on Binance. So again, where we found this, you can go under the more section. Now they've got a whole Launchpad and launch pool. A lot of our members in the lodge and stuff often keep an eye out for these new coins that are going to get listed. There's a countdown timer, they get listed, and then sometimes we trade them. Not financial advice, it is highly risky, but our members in the den, the lodge, generally are quite experienced around that. So that would be under the Launchpad. The other thing as well, for those of you who have a lot of BNB, and it's kind of just sitting in your wallets, there are opportunities to actually make it work for you. Now, most of you know that you can earn or stake your BNB, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, etc., on the exchange of your choice. But there are two things that are really interesting. And this is the mega drop, which is really cool. So how do you need to do that? You need to lock your BNB up, as in you need to stake it, or under the earn side. You accumulate points there, answer a few fun questions around Web3 gamings or platforms, and you can actually earn even more rewards on that. So not only you're staking and earning through the earn side, you actually get to participate in some of these drops, and these are airdrops. So that's quite cool for those of you who are holding BNB. The other thing as well is well known, the Launchpad or the launch platform for this. If you lock up your BNB, you get IO airdrop to you as well. And you can see that there are 133,000 wallets of BNB in terms of 80 million BNB tokens themselves locked up in that. And this is really great. So again, if you're holding on BNB because you bought early and you're waiting for the next 5 years or for it to go to 7,000 or whatever you like, and you're just holding those BNB, have a look at these as well. There's some really great benefits to that. So that's quite cool, actually. Hopefully some of you have actually been inspired to perhaps enable the fee reduction on KuCoin, MEXC, or Bitmart and Binance, or perhaps even delve more into some of these launchpads and the benefits of holding a certain number of these native tokens. Yeah, so hopefully anybody learned something new. I really hope so.
Yeah, thanks for all the information. I learned quite a bit. So that was really, really interesting on the feed. Good stuff.
Absolutely. And I think, Wendy, I mean, maybe Miss chat tomorrow. I mean, if he's holding BNB, maybe there's an opportunity for him to participate in some of those mega airdrops for those on Binance. And for everybody else who's on the other exchanges, do yourselves a favor. If you're holding BMX or KCX or MX, there are opportunities for you all to earn more, or save on fees, and or even receive some airdrops depending on the exchange of your choice.
Way cool.
And we appreciate all of you joining us. Hopefully some of you have learned something more. In 2 weeks' time, we will have our next one, our 31st edition of the Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout. And we've got an exciting theme for you as well, which we're going to be delving into. So join us in 2 weeks' time for that. And for those of you who've been on the call, we appreciate that. If you learned anything, pop it in the lodge if you guys have access to that. And those of you who've been sharing some of the food types and you want to share those Nanaimo bar, what's it, Nanaimo? I'm going to butcher it. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. Nanaimo bars, or the Nigerian jello rice, the goat curries, biltong, Cook Sisters. Share it. Be proud of your country's national foods and birds and animals. Fantastic stuff. Well done, Diesel. Well done, Eleni. Thanks, Marcel. Really comprehensive. Thanks, Vix.
Thanks, guys.
And Wendy, it was great to see you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was absolutely very informative session. So thank you. Beautiful.
Lovely. Ladies and gents, have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, morning, evening further, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.